Good evening. Welcome to Zero XP Studio. I'm Zero XP Dev. A bonus stream tonight. It's going to be another boring one. So we're still working on our game design document for our first game, StarJump War Crisis. Still a working title at the moment. It's growing on me though. I'm liking it. I think that might be a good idea. Give me some feedback though, what you think of the name. So anyway, we're here live on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, join the conversation. On Twitch here, jump in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking, see how we're going. Any advice on how I'm doing with the streaming? It is a new thing to me, so I've been making some mistakes, leaving up the main webcam zoom up there, but I try and remember to put it back to the main screen when I can. So speaking of, let's jump over to our main screen. So we've got our document here for StarJump War Crisis. Now we've done quite a bit so far. Last night we were working on the world design. So we went through our key locations. So this is essentially going to be like our levels for our roguelite. Weather, not much weather in space, but certain environmental effects, and see the key locations for information. Time's a very important thing in this game. It's all about surviving for as long as possible. Also trying to make that warp drive reduced. Now, I had an idea today. So, time until warp drive is charged. I'm gonna put an extra note in here. That should be these. Now let's change back to normal for a sec. There may be an option for the player to activate the warp drive once it is charged when they are ready to leave the level. This will give them the option of staying in the level and trying to survive longer, and thus being able to collect more upgrades to potentially help in later levels. If they die while still not having completed the warp drive, they will lose, and it will be game over as normal. Alright, so travel specifically within each level is based on just the ship movement. Travel between the levels is achieved when the player successfully charges their warp drive and completes the level. And a short transitional cutscene can be played leading into and out of the results screen, with the background looping cutscene showing travel through the wormhole behind the cutscene screen showing the travel while warping. Scale is going to be very important, as well as time. Due to being space. So we've got some ideas, like roughly. I was checking out some comparison sizes last night. Did I save them? Give me a second. History. This was them here. So they're small, medium, large, huge. So let's save these. Save image as game design. Oops. Oh no. Hey, come on. New folder. References. Alright. So if we pull that back up. Game design, references. Alright, there we go, so we can zoom in normally now. So the Star Wars stuff. So down in this corner. So there's the X-Wing. Over here, let me just make sure we're on the screen. Okay, so yeah, there's the X-Wing on this side. We want it to be somewhere around 12 to 15 meters, somewhere around the size of an X-Wing. And then, so if we think of enemy ships somewhere, what did we put down? And this is just rough to start with, so 12 to 15 meters for the starships themselves, similar in size to the X-Wings from Star Wars. Regular enemies, similar in size with some small variation in size. Up and down. They're approximately 10 to 20 meters. So if we come back to here, I mean, even just looking at some of the Galactic Empire ships, and also TIE Defender 9.6, TIE Fighter 7.8, 7.7, things like that. Some of the Delta class, Lambda class, they're like 15, 20 meters. A little bit bigger, a little bit smaller here and there. Stargate, Telhar class, yeah. I love Stargate. Stargate and Star Wars, and Spaceballs, there you go. The Eagle 5, awesome seeing that there. So we're talking about potential Easter eggs. The Eagle 5 may be an Easter egg. Yeah, you got the War of the Worlds. So yeah, somewhere we're probably going to be mostly on this for some of them. And then we come to the stronger enemies, so 20 to 30 meters. So again, if we come back, some of the larger ships, the Black Hawk, Phoenix Passenger, Short Range, Enforcement Vessel, Firefly, Shuttles, Star Trek Phoenix, Transport Shuttles, things like that. The Knight from the Expanse, Razorback, RF Centaur. So going a little bit bigger, so they're going to be not as common. And then our special boss enemies, so 50 to 100 meters in length. So these are going to be the biggest ones on this page. So if you look here, like the Colonial One from Battlestar Galactica, the Firefly, the DeWalt. What else? So essentially the larger ones, if we come to, where do we go, the medium? So your medium-sized ones, well, these are much bigger. It's going to be the smaller ones on this side. So like a Bird of Prey, Gamma and Traveller, Colonial One. Oh, look at this, there's the Planet Express from Futurama. So yeah, something around those sort of sizes. And then, so are we going to start seeing like planets and stuff here? What do we got here? Osiris. Where would Earth be? It's a neutron star. No, okay. Earth is still much bigger than these. Because yeah, neutron star 12 kilometers, 25 kilometers. Anyway, so then last thing we listed on was objects. Not many objects found in deep space. Most of them are going to be obstacles to avoid. So comets, meteors, and asteroids, moons, exploding sun, solar flares from the exploding sun, and the black hole. Did I turn the captions on? Sorry, give me a second. Let's make sure our captions are running. There we go. Alright, so tonight. Oh, hold on. Oh, because we added that in there. I don't like that. Oh, is it gone? It's spilled over. So first off, we need to get a enter on that. Want that there. I mean, do we need to add anything else here? Let me go back through the game world. Time, day, night, weather, object scale, travel, key locations, overview. General look and feel. Oh, okay. Let's just copy that for a sec. Alright. There should be similar twin design in the world as found in the Star Wars universe. By this means both a high-tech, futuristic space design combined with what we will refer to as Dunker space design. Alright. Of design elements that the Galactic Empire clean. Minimalistic. But
Heart is knowing how many times I could have turned around. You no longer want to see anybody and be found. And if it was for mine, I'd stay alone in my tree like
what you call, like, hygienically clean?
Loneliness changes you deeply and can tear you apart. Sometimes showing out your heart can reveal a new regard. And if it was for mine,
Form within function.
alone in my tree like no doubt. All I
Also needs to be some design for the aliens that are encountered. So high-tech, futuristic, minimalistic, sleek, hygienically clean, form within function, high contrasting colors. So then we've got junker space. Very put together design. Like is incorporated to the Rebel Alliance's design. Worn and used. Maintained with the junk that could be found. By contrasting minimalistic colors. Function over form. Get it done no matter what. Yep. looks like. Alright, so these design elements more to be used for high tech. Enemy factions. Majority of the highest faction will use this sort of design elements. Design. Lower tech enemy actions such as space pirates. They use this sort of design. Alright, and then say alien species. Alien species are to incorporate a mix of more biotech designs. Main goal is to alien species feel completely different to the human factions. Disgustingly on it. Disgustingly beautiful. Darker and less contrasting colors. Oops. But still with some vivid elements. Potential use of bioluminescence. Within the design, such as deep sea creatures. Alright, now let's shift some stuff. Just time is going to be an important thing, but that's not going to fit in that section. Let's put scale there. Space. Alright. I think that's that. So into our game design. Oh wait, no, because that's going to be later. Our characters we want, so we want to move that. World design. Okay, character design. multiple different actions. Multiple factions that need to be designed. Including the multiple types of designs need to be created to cover different human factions and alien species counted. Okay, so pilots, StarJumpers, ships. Okay. You're seeing in the selection screen. Starships. Alright. Human enemies, so. Oh, Federation. Rogue StarJumpers, maybe? Just it. Human ships. Player. Okay. Starting a new run. Wow. First, select the pilot. StarJump. Select the ship. A new game will only offer each to begin with. It's the player versus 2 rounds. They will need to unlock more pilots. And starships. What's up? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. I think Salem wants to say hello. Come here. Hey. No. What's up? You should not stop scratching the couch. Come here. Come on. No? Never mind. Okay. Come back to... oh, here. Stargate. Gold. How do you spell gold? I was close. Go up. Where's our... Just to say. What do we got? Power 5, majority expands, Firefly. Actually, I'll put them down later in the actual enemies. Okay, so pilots, star jumpers. One. Okay, so what do we got? Hold on. Gains faster XP. Experiences. I'm faster. More agile. Thinking. No one's in the chat to give me any ideas. Come on, guys. It's faster XP, more agile. Experience time faster. Let me. There's more ships in as well. What do we got? Having a mental blank here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Select to latest. Okay, so starships. We have to, whoops, two sets each set. Now, many combinations, how many different combinations are using one item. Each set. change that. So whether or not we're going to put them in or not, some ideas. So we're going to go much the same as the enemies. So alright, I need to take a 10-minute break. I need to move around, stretch. We will come back and we'll continue with the enemies. In the meantime, we will turn the background music up. So I'm 0xp Dev, this is 0xp Studio, and we'll be back to work on the enemies and aliens in 10 minutes. We'll see you soon. Don't go anywhere. Good evening. Welcome to 0xp Studio. Apologies for the slight delay in start there. We're having some technical difficulties with the audio. But we're here. So I'm 0xp Dev, and as I said, this is 0xp Studio. Anyway, tonight, finally, we're finishing off the game development document. It's been a long time. I know there's been some very boring episodes there. So let me pull up the main screen before I forget to do that and get stuck with my ugly mug the whole video. So, StarJump Warp Crisis, working title. So this is based on a template by Chris Taylor. Everything else in here is all 100% by me. So we've got, just to go through our sections we've done so far, a section for our design history as we do updates and all here and there. Our game overview, concept and inspiration. So roguelite survivors, bullet hell shoot 'em ups, and classic arcade shooters. Our gameplay structure with our game progression, start and level selection. Then we've got our game mechanics, general features, gameplay design and interface, player actions, so ship movement, firing weapons, pilots, ships, weapons, shields and other upgrades, so sort of like just a brief overview there. Same as for the enemies, environmental hazards and player combat. We go into experience points, leveling up, temporary upgrades, currency and permanent upgrades. So we need to add that into our title on that next section. We need to adjust this slightly, so we may get a small look into those other games and just have a look what game options they offer. Playtime, replaying and saving, cheats and Easter eggs. So we've got the famous Konami code, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. Our hidden chocolate or Easter eggs, multiplayer. As just a quick overview there, so we're going to be mainly making as a single player, but co-op maybe in the long run. Oh, there you go, lightsaber went out. I forgot that it doesn't stay on that long at all. Story narrative, so our backstory, plot elements and story progression and potential ideas to end the story. Then we go into our world design, so general world design, talking about time, which is going to be very important, space, which is very important, an overview of the levels, The weather, not much weather in space. Travel, how the player travels, both within each level and between levels. And objects. Then last episode, so this would have been Friday actually, because we done a bonus episode last Friday. We went through all our character design, so our player, the pilots, the starships, and some potential Easter eggs, and then our enemies and aliens. So we've got the Federation, we've got our space pirates, we've got rogue starjumpers, our alien ships, our giant ship-sized aliens, and alien-infested human ships. We went onto our user interface, so going through our menus, both pre-game and in-game, the heads-up display, and then our controls for game controller and keyboard and mouse. Because it's essentially sort of going to control like a twin-stick shooter, it's going to feel much better controlling with controller and mouse. With a controller rather than a keyboard and mouse, but we will program for both. Then that leads us into where we're up to tonight. So we're going into our, we need to put currency. Oh, I need to spell that right. Currency. And temporary and permanent upgrades. Oh, hold on, maybe we should put temporary. Currency. Alright, so let's also make a copy of this. Page breaks in the right spot. We want to keep our formatting going. We had a lot of issues with the formatting going out of whack early on. Alright. So, yeah, we already put down some basics in here and we need to expand it out. So let's change this to currency. Did we already list about experience? Okay, so no currency. And leveling up. No, leveling up first. We need to shorten that and then actually have the different things, so experience points, leveling up, temporary upgrades. So then we've got currency. Permanent upgrades. Hold on. So getting stronger. Do that. Call it getting stronger. Now, say? What do we call this? Sure. Let's go. This runs for a sec. Permanent. So, currency. Permanent upgrades. Experience points. Leveling up. Temporary upgrades. Surviving until what drive is charged. Oops. Destroying enemies will earn experience. Earn the player experience points. Unlike vampire survivors and 20 minutes till dawn. Where the experience points are dropped as orbs, where the enemy is defeated and require the player to actually collect experience. This will automatically be collected no matter where the enemy is destroyed. Automatically be collected no matter where the enemy is destroyed. Unlike vampire survivors. Minutes which require player to orbs that are dropped from the defeated enemies. Automatic XP collection will be required because of the difficult enough nature, it will be just to avoid the enemies and their weapons due to the bullet hell style and their bullet hell style weaponry. So as the player gains experience points, XP, as the player earns XP, they will level up the required total of XP will increase for every level. Actual figures for required XP for each level will be determined at a later stage during development when working on what's the term? What do they call it? Balancing game difficulty and balancing. See appendix. XP and levels. What's the term for information such as a database? Database. data set. Table. February. Okay. On leveling up, players will be offered a group of temporary upgrades. Will only be valid. No. Be stay active during the current run. There should be three to five upgrades available at each level. Upgrades can provide either improvements to the player's star ships health, weapons, shields, or ability. Upgrades can provide multiple different boons to the player. Potentially change time aspects of the game, such as reduce the time to charge the warp drive, or speed up time itself. Potential upgrades. So just list the potential ideas to pad them out a bit more. So increase ship health. Recover ship health. Add different types of weapon fire to Starship. PG. Lasers. Photon guns. Missiles. Ballistics. Etc. Make players attacks do more damage. Increase speed of players' attacks. Cooldown of players' attacks. Increase Starship's shield capacity / strength. Decrease Starship's shield recharge time. Mobility. Movement speed. Extra. What did I call it up here? It's in the movement. Dodge strafe. So, reduce time to charge. Or drive by X amount of time or either increase the game speed itself, thus increasing speed of enemies and their attacks, but also how fast armor counts down, or this would be by small increments such as 2% or 5%, for example. Okay. Upon completing a level or upon completing a run by either death or upgrades. Found on the main menu. Okay, so that was on screen options, upgrades menu. Upgrades menu. The menu will be accessible from the main menu. It will allow the player to purchase permanent upgrades using any of the currency that they have collected during runs. So permanent upgrades. Provide boons to the player. To the pilots, starships, and warp drive. Charging capabilities. So, pilots. Choices available currency. Okay, so excuse me. sized. Space star system. Nebula asteroid belt. And that one's the exploding star. Yeah. The giant ship-sized alien boss. Back to where we were. Can't think of any more for them at the moment. Alright. I think we're going to leave that there, and then we're going to come into game development. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. We're pretty much gone through an overview of what we need to achieve for our upgrade system, experience and leveling up an upgrade system, and then we can go into how we're going to develop the game. So don't go anywhere, join us in 10 minutes and we'll see you shortly. And we are back. Welcome to Zero XP Studio. I'm Zero XP Dev. So, tonight we've been working on finishing our game development document, and we are so close. So, let me pull up the main screen. Alright, so we just finished our section on our leveling up system and upgrades, and we're going into our game development. So, we need to look into this a little bit. Development and deployment. Deployment. Okay. Repository. The elements of the game. This will differ considerably based on the platform. Details in the game structure. The details need not be included in this document. Reference is fine. The documentation is, however, it is sufficient for me to find the way around the code and to understand what the different elements are. Be especially careful to identify the key problems that you're encountered and solved. Okay. We need to change some of this. The rendering system. Game engine. Game maker. Okay, so yeah, what am I? StarJump Warp Crisis. Will be developed solely by myself, XP Dev. Using Game Maker engine. Okay, what's the current version? I think it might need an upgrade actually. Let me double check that. Package manager, project tool in. Okay, so how do I do the updates? Package manager. Update. The updater, that's up to date. Localization. You could do localization within game, in engine. Interesting. We're gonna have to look at that because we definitely want to look at localization. Check for updates. There we go. No new versions are found. The ID is up to date. Alright, so about. We're gonna have to drag that over there. Okay. ID version 2024.11.0.179. Current runtime 4.11.0.226. Alright. Game will be written. Oh, I need to open that back up. Now let me just open up Windy Woods tutorial. Don't worry that it's going to be on the second screen down there. It's not that much for what you guys need to see. I'm just referring to it for some information for the document. Alright, so the game will be rendered in 2D rendering. Rendering style. Game will be rendered in 2D. Two-dimensional 16-bit style graphics from a top-down perspective. Assets. Into the following categories. Okay, so animation curves. Actually, let's do this in an order that's going to be suitable for us. Rooms. Objects, sprites, file sets, okay, so then we'll go through sounds, we'll go through the rest. So we want fonts, scripts, sequences, we will be using mostly the following asset categories within GameMaker to keep our assets sorted. Article systems, know at least those. I'm not sure about the others yet. It's going to depend on what we use as we're learning. So, rooms. Need a sub-level here. Okay, so yeah. Ah. The menu screen, scan levels, etc. Use uses layers to render instances. So objects. Is applied to. Operate the various mechanics. Run the game. Can, but not required to have sprites applied to objects. Will make the object visible within the game. Everything from the player to enemies, weapons, items, text, overlays, etc. Alright, so sprites. file sets is to all sounds used within game, including music and sound effects. Used to and various fonts used within the game. Excuse me. Sequences. Okay. Going through the assets. Camera. Well, mostly follow the player movement. Throughout the main gameplay. Special moments within gameplay may trigger specific camera movements. So special, stronger enemies may cause camera to slightly nudge toward enemy location. Boss enemies may cause the camera to zoom out to show the size of the enemy. Alright. Let's go with artwork. Sprites. Can I say something about this somewhere else? Slightly. Stock and free asset pack. That's for asset pack. Sprites may should be used during prototype development to ensure faster development. Hello, pussycat. Hello. Take a quick look. This is Salem. He's a good boy. Bye-bye. Faster development. Final artwork will be created by myself using various out of engine software such as, what was it? What's the one I've got called? Pixie Editor. And what's the other one? A-Sprite? A-Sprite. I can't remember how it's pronounced. A-Sprite. A-Sprite. Acid-Sprite. And Acid-Sprite. Alright. Following this following sprites will be required. Okay, so now we want along with various others following main sprites. Okay, so player. Okay, so pilot sprites, various starship. Okay. Various pilots, various starships. Various enemies of every type. Weapon, fire of every type. Used in run selection menus. Various forms. Collectible objects. Backgrounds. Currency. Menu items. Elements. Animations. Oh wait. That's it. That's where animations there. It's to be listed. Right. Alright, so animations. All animations be created in engine within the game engine using various sprites required. Start within sprites and animations, so that's that. Image and artwork. Make Deployment. Initial development platform. Just give me a moment. Almost done. Initial development platform. Okay, describe game. Initial development. Game will be initially developed for Windows PC. Initial deployment. On final release, the game will be made available on Windows platforms, Windows PC platforms such as Steam, Epic Games, etc. Further development. Other platform releases may be considered for further development and release. Potentially including the following. So then we go current PlayStation / Xbox generation, current Nintendo Switch platform, Nintendo Switch 2 may be released later this year. Native Linux version to be natively supported on devices such as Steam Deck, PlayStation, Xbox. It is not going to be suitable for the touchscreen, so mobile and tablet are out of option. We're not doing that. No microtransactions. They are evil. The game is going to be developed, one single price, you buy it, that's it. If I need to support it afterwards for upgrades for updates to fix bugs, etc., I'll do that. That's what a developer should do. You don't charge someone for something and then keep charging them and charge them more and charge them more and charge them more. You buy something, you buy it once, that's it. Subscription models and microtransactions are the bane of current existence and economics. So actually, let's put a quick note regarding that. So the game will release with a single initial price with no microtransactions, or what do they call it? Season passes. So that will have further support for a period of time as determined by the developer to ensure that updates can be provided and updates can be provided that may remove bugs or add further features to the game at any time. No further cost will be incurred for patch updates. Currently, there are no plans for DLC, but this may be subject to change and may be priced accordingly. Alright, so we don't need that for the lighting models. Let's just add that to there. Platforms built on where the source code analysis to be found. The key elements of the game. This will be as well. So one more thing here. Being the first game from a brand new independent developer with no previous experience developing games. Lots of problems are likely to be encountered during development. Patience and lots of tutorials will be used to help get through any potential problems that may arise, and refer to appendix problems encountered for a list or an up-to-date list of any problems during development. Okay, so last thing we need to do is just change these. So we had one appendix was, where is it? XP and levels. XP and levels. So refer to document XP and levels dot shit, what are they? Docx. So what's an Excel spreadsheet's bloody save file? File, save as, browse, XLSX dot XLSX for a full table array of required XP for each level. Advancement. We need to, where was the upgrades? Upgrades. Temporary and permanent upgrades can be found in appendix. Wait, hold on. Refer to appendix. Temporary and permanent upgrades for full details of upgrades implemented into the game. Alright, so temporary and permanent upgrades. Refer to appendix sprite list for all sprites used within the game. Sprite list, music and sound effects. Don't need those. So sound effects to be used. List of sprites to be used. Okay. Oh, what's wrong there? Look at that, all our spelling and grammar's excellent. Okay, we're all done. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and just do a quick run through everything and just make sure we're happy. Let's update all that. That should be. Can we? Indices. I'm going to change that one. Change each of them to a level 2. That should fix that then. Just make sure that's done. With all the joy that we got in our heart, lost somewhere in the gray in between. Oh, where did that go? How happy we can be. Where's that multiplayer and co-op one? 25. Okay, that's why. Yep, no, so that's fine, but we need to put that there. Oops. Okay, so no, that's right. There is multiplayer co-op game, but we don't need that there. Alright, so we're good. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll come back. We'll do one last quick run through of everything that we've done. We need just make sure we don't need to add anything else. The only thing I can think of that we need to add to quickly, and this is that we may need to just quickly jump into the Vampire Survivors in 20 minutes to midnight, have a look at the gameplay options, see what we might need to add into there as some potential options, just so we can flesh that out a bit. I'll think of the word there for a sec. And then we'll be officially done. So look forward to tomorrow night where we can get started then. So, as I said, we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be back soon. This is Zero XP Studio. I'm Zero XP Dev. Don't go anywhere. Okay, and we are back. Welcome back to Zero XP Studio. I'm Zero XP Dev. So, we are pretty much done with our game design document. We're just going to make one quick run through pass, make sure that we're happy with everything, and then we'll be pretty much officially done. So, design document, StarJump War Crisis, roguelite bullet hell space shooter, Vampire Survivors in space. So we got all our contents. So, design history, that's all done. We don't so much have a version 1.1 yet, so I'm going to italics all of that. Okay. Any sections in full italics is incomplete and pending further document versions during development. This is okay. This is the final version. Prior to initial to starting initial. Why can I never spell initial properly when I'm typing? Initial game development proceeding on Thursday 13th of March 2025. Tomorrow. We're getting started tomorrow, that's right. Finally. Okay. So game overview and is our concept and inspiration. So roguelike survivors. We've got our vampire survivors and 20 minutes till dawn. Our bullet hell shoot 'em ups. So our classics, Gradius and Raiden fighters from the arcades, and obviously our original arcade space shooters, so Space Invaders and Galaxian. Gameplay structure. Our objective, our game progression, game start and level selection. They're all done. Game mechanics. So we'll go over some specific bits here. We're not going to read through absolutely everything because it'll take us another 3 days. It's a 26-page document. Alright, so gameplay. Roguelite survival, bullet hell shoot 'em up, temporary upgrades per run, permanent upgrades through earned currency, different StarJumpers, pilots, offer alternate gameplay via different stats. Faster experience gain, faster currency gain, more agile piloting. Some maps will loop on them, let's say some level maps. Some level maps will loop on themselves, while others will have strict borders / limits. Design, 16-bit 2D graphics. Junker space, high-tech space themed. Let's also add in there, so what did I call it? Alien infection. Alien biotech. Alright, so player ships. Some strong weapons, weak weapons, some weak weapons with strong shields. Sorry, some strong weapons with weak shields, some weak weapons with strong shields, some with faster movement. Enemies, we got space pirates, alien fleets, asteroids and comets. We're gonna go aliens, or alien fleets. So we've got alien infected humans and Federation. Excuse me. Environments, so nebula, deep space, asteroid belt, mini solar / planetary system. So we get rid of that bit because we know it's going to be that. So twin moons orbiting a planet, exploding star, and a black hole. Our interface, basic menus, main menu, option menu, permanent upgrades, new run selection, gameplay levels, warp transitions between levels, and game over and results screen. Single gameplay UI, simple gameplay UI. So, I'm on the other screen, so sorry about that. Let's pull up the main screen so everyone can see. Keep doing it. I gotta stop doing that. Okay. Simple gameplay UI. So we need to show experience points and level, current level. Currency collected, health, shields, damage dealt, active weapons and upgrades, time to warp drive charges, and time survived. Why didn't I have that now? I've got it later. Player actions. So, ship movement and firing weapons. Players should have 3 degrees of motion to control the ship. Throttle, forwards and backwards. Yaw. So, forwards and backwards, like that. Yaw, turning, left and right. And a dodge strafe, so like a quick left and right thrust. They need to have 2 to 3 ways to fire weapons, so a main primary weapon, and then like a super weapon. Might be something like a blast that goes out or something you can only use every so often, and cargo release, so dropping bombs or cargo or something. Players should be able to move while firing, but movement speed may be lowered. Pilots, ships, weapons, shields, and other upgrades. So as we know, we're going to start with single pilot and a ship, but we're going to, whoops, but we're going to unlock more as we go. We're going to get earn currency to unlock, to be able to unlock more. Actually, will the currency unlock them? We've gone into more detail, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the currency is going to be used to unlock pilots and ships, or just the upgrades. It might be both. It might be different pilots as you get to different levels and ships you purchase. We'll see. Enemies, environmental hazards, and player combat. So the enemy. Number of enemies combined with the firing patterns will create a bullet hell style environment. For the player to avoid. Regular enemies should spawn randomly, but keep in mind the bullet hell style is to not have too many enemies on screen at once. Special stronger enemies should spawn at random times that provide unique or better value upgrades upon defeat. And boss enemies will spawn if player survives long enough without warp drive charging. So again, like, we'll go into it in the time section, but if you can either charge the warp drive faster and get out of there, or you can maybe survive longer and fight more and stronger enemies and get better upgrades to use later. The hazards. The enemies in their bullet hell onslaught. Avoid the incoming fire by navigating the gaps with agile ship movement. Environment hazards, asteroids, comets, and space junk. And then level-based hazards, which are environmental hazards as well, but they're going to be specific to certain levels. So heat, weapons overheat faster. Cold, weapons overheat slower. Maybe it'll make the shields recharge slower as well. And shields recharge slower. Planets, massive obstacle to avoid. Solar flares cause malfunctions to navigational shields, and black hole pulls you in. There's enough there for that. Fight back. So weapon types, you can have ballistics, energy, bullets and missiles, energy, laser and photon, super weapons, so blast waves, EMPs, etc. Droppable weapons, bombs, traps, cargo. Ship weapons start off basic, but upgrades soon start to allow the player to create their own bullet hell. Upgrade each weapon type to increase damage or area of effect. Synergize different weapons to maximize damage output. Collect super weapons from enemy drops. Maybe, we'll see. Experience points leveling up and temporary upgrades. Currency and permanent upgrades. Game options. Okay, so here we go. So display options, full screen, borderless, windowed resolution, etc. Let's put the etc. there. Audio options, master volume, music volume, effects volume, accessibility options, more. Text size, dyslexic font, colorblind options. Need research on that. So need to research other options. Now, so gameplay options. All right. So let me pull up Vampire Survivors for a sec. Whoops, not that one. That's the one that's not launching through Epic. Or will it now for some reason? Are you gonna load? No. Alright. Let me just make sure. That we can hear. Alright, yeah, everyone should be able to hear that. That doesn't matter, we're only going for options. Okay, so what do we got? Oops. So we got display options, so resolution, window mode, VSync. See, because a lot of disabled blood, we're not going to have blood. Flashing VFX. That may be important to reduce for epileptics. So that may be something in accessibility options. Same as the screen shake. Sounds and music. Gameplay, so showing damage numbers. Show stage progression. Stage progression. What is that in this? Might need to go into a quick run just to see what is coming up as stage progression. And then there's like co-op options. So that'll be if added. Alright, let me just go into one quick run. Oops. So I've got sound coming out of multiple places there. Stage progression. So just start attacking some of these. I'm seeing a bar on the right next to the currency. So I'm wondering if that might be it. So what happens as we start to level up and all? Okay, so yeah, let's go cross. It's probably going to be like as we start to get things like the waves. Oh, new enemies coming, so it may take us 5 minutes. So there's our first, like, new enemies coming in. Nothing's changing over there. We haven't got any currency. I mean, no currency's spawning yet. I need to destroy this one. Come on. Alright, so that's currency. So that's only one. So yeah, so that's just the currency. What are the bars underneath then? Is that something about game progression? Oh, gain more experience, get faster up at that. Okay, is it gonna do something when we get like the close in? So I think maybe the chickens only spawn if you've taken damage. If you haven't taken damage, then they don't spawn. Okay, there's a chicken after I've taken damage. that'll be like an if statement to control that. That'll be as impact like weapon strike with the cauldron, whatever you call it, fire cauldron. Check, does fire have damage? If yes, then potentially add the it'd be cases. So in the cases, you got like one case will be okay, an experience spawn. One case will be a coin spawn. One will be. See, nothing's happening on those bars, and then we got like full skeletons. One will be the chicken. So the case where the chicken spawns only happens if the if statement comes back true or has the player got damage. Otherwise, it just leaves that out of one of the potential options to choose from. Is this going to ruin games for me? Making games, I'm going to see how they're made. Okay, no. So there is what a chicken just spawned. Getting a lot of chicken spawns this time. Nothing is happening with those bars on the right. I'm not seeing anything else that would indicate stage progression. So I think it's got to be like when you get the close-in, for example, and the sort of boss enemy type. Nice to collect some of this experience I've supposedly earned, yeah. Alright, so let's see if anything changes after this. So we've got the first close in. Where's the boss? There he is. Just the one. Nothing's happening with those bars. Okay, hold on. Options. And it's not there, so you can only change it from the main menu. Okay, let's die. Let's change it and see what changes. Options. Yeah, stage regression. Back, start. Nothing's changed. Everything is the same. Hold on. Experience bar. Weapons, time, enemies killed, coins. Those two bars that don't do anything. There's nothing else on screen. There's your health. Okay, so what is that changing? I'm gonna have to Google that. Alright, so we got... I'm gonna pull this up onto the lower screen. You're not gonna see it that well, sorry guys. So I'll zoom in. Here we go. You should be able to see that then. Alright, so gameplay options, so damage numbers, that's a good one. Joystick type, legacy default, that's not necessary. Put VSync in there. Language. Okay. Alright, so let's go check out 20 minutes till dawn quickly. See what it's got. Because again, we need to compare two similar games so that we can have similar features. Now, these are the closest to similar modern games, so that's what we're comparing to. Alright. It's got very simple controls here. Options, so music, SFX, full screen. We got the camera shake. So, we'll put camera shake. Because both of them have got that. Auto reload, outline. Auto reload now. Okay, so we're going to have kind of like a reload function, but it's going to be tied to the cooldown. So if you hit the button before overheating, it'll do an instant cooldown, but if you keep firing and it overheats, then you'll be stuck in cooldown for 2-3 seconds. Do the auto... it'll be like, make it super easy. It's like easy mode. Yeah, we'll consider it. So, auto reload, cooldown, outline, keyboard controls. Okay, so what does the outline do? That we're gonna have to maybe see in game. So we'll go into a quick run. Can we change that in game? Alright, so what do we got? And we can see everything there. Is it like the outline on the enemies? So let's see. If we turn that off. Oops. Synergies. So it's got certain things if you... Okay, that might be interesting to look into later. That'll be research down the track when we're doing balancing and stuff. And yeah, so the enemy outlines. So that does make it easier to see, but this game is based on it being extremely dark. So again, that's sort of like a game option thing to make it slightly easier. That may be something to potentially look at if we're going to have lots of bullet fire going, to outline the enemies separate to the bullet fire. Alright, let's just quit out of that. We're done there. So let's pull our document back over. Whoops. Save game options, so enemy outlines. Alright, playtime. So we know about, 60 minutes, gonna run down in time, yeah, as you reduce it. The warp drive, roguelite survival, cheats and Easter eggs, hidden chocolate, multiplayer features, potentially story and narrative, backstory, plot elements and story progression, ideas to end the story. Haven't had any other thoughts yet. World design, physical world, general world design, high-tech futuristic, junker space, alien biotech. Time, so as I was saying before, time is very important because it's two aspects, it's two-sided. How long you survive, but you want to survive shorter, so like it's going to get harder, so you want to charge the warp drive shorter, but do you want more upgrades? A lot of games I noticed like that get reviewed well and all in their mechanics and stuff and features like this is like where you've got to choose one thing or the other. Do you try and get out of there as fast as possible? Do you try and survive longer when it gets harder but get stronger as you go? Make it easier to survive later. That's the other thing, if you get out of there too quick, you get into later levels and you haven't upgraded enough, you might not have enough upgrades to survive the later levels. So, space, again, another very big important thing. So size is very important. So we need to make sure that we're expressing scale, size and distance, distances between objects, speed, how fast they're moving. It's going to matter a lot about sort of like parallax in the background, give some effective movement there. But size of the enemies and all as well. So again, we want the starships are going to be similar to like size in X-Wings, if you think of X-Wings from Star Wars. Regular enemies, slightly smaller, slightly larger. Stronger enemies should be quite a bit larger, and then the boss enemies huge. Like, as I mentioned in the camera section, where it's going to zoom out, we want to zoom out to show the scale of the size of the enemy ships, of the big boss enemies. Like, they're going to dwarf the player in size. Like, the player is going to be tiny. You're going to be the size of one of the boss enemy's bullets. You don't want to get hit by them. So our levels, level 1, the nebula. So open space, free of obstacles, beautiful nebula background, no environmental effects. Level 2, deep space, occasional comet or meteor shooting by, with a starry background, cold environment. That's going to sort of be your introduction to environmental effects. Level 3, the asteroid belt. So asteroids circling, which are going to limit. It might be like just a top and bottom circle. It might be like a side and side. I don't know if it's going to be a full border around the whole thing. We'll see. The mini star / planetary system. So 2 moons in tidal locked orbit. The moons act as giant obstacles. Unsure if looping or non-looping, depends on how I design the level. And the system star and planet in the background. Then we go on to the exploding star. That star is starting to explode. It's shooting off solar flares that the player needs to avoid. And then remnants of the moons and planets can go around. We can have like parts of the planets as well being obstacles. And then we've got the black hole. So exploding stars turn into a black hole. It's trying to pull you in. Not much else there. Weather. Space doesn't have weather, but as I said, we're going to have the sort of environmental effects, heat and cold. That's what I forgot to say. The exploding star is also going to be the hot environment. Travel. So listing, we've got travel obviously within each level, just the ship moving around, and then travel between levels going to more be a cutscene of like the warping through the wormhole. Think like a Doctor Who style effect. And then objects, so listing off our objects that we're going to find, so comets, meteors and asteroids, moons, exploding suns, solar flares, black holes. It's like the environmental objects, and then collectible objects, so bombs, space junk and cargo. Character design, So we're going to need designs for the player, including pilots and starships, human enemies, and the alien enemies. Got some potential Easter eggs, so different characters from Star Wars, different ships from other different fictions. The enemies and aliens, so again, like all these names, we're not 100%. We're going to have like the main sort of human enemy faction, the Federation. We got some like space pirates. We've got our rogue StarJumpers. Then we've got our aliens, so we've got our alien ships, we've got our giant ship-sized aliens, and our alien-infested human ships. So where the aliens are sort of taking over the humans and infesting their technology with their own. We've got a user interface. Needs to be quite simple. We've got our pre-game menus, so our main menu, we need new run, upgrades, options, and then sort of exit. So a new run menu is going to go through selecting our pilot, selecting our starship, and then selecting the level. Originally you're only going to be able to start on the first level, but as you unlock you might be able to start on further levels, but you're not going to be able to 100% complete the game if you complete a single run through all 6 levels. Different endings potentially, as I've said, for different ways to end. As I said, we could survive, like go through all 6 levels, charge the warp drive really quick in the last level and just get the hell out of there. We may go into the black hole. We may survive long enough for the big boss to come out and we defeat that, and then again a few options there. Do we charge the warp drive? Do we go into the black hole? Who knows? So possibility for multiple endings. Upgrades menu. Going to control the upgrades for the pilot upgrades and the starship upgrades, and then our options menu, display settings, audio settings, control settings, accessibility settings, and gameplay settings. In-game menus, so when we pause, we need a resume, a restart run, options menu, exit to menu, and exit game. So we'll go exit to desktop. Upgrades each level, so every time we level up we need to have a menu pop up with the options to select from. Then our game over / results screen. Game over / results screen. So warp successful / failed to survive, time survived, time to charge warp drive, currency collected, enemies killed, damage dealt, upgrades used, next level, back to menu. Then we've got our in the game, the heads up display. So the HUD needs to be minimalistic. We need to show our current experience, current level, time to warp drive is charged, time survived, health, shields, weapons overheat, and currency collected. Our controls, so again, as I said, similar to a twin stick shooter style in controls, so it's going to feel better using a game controller. Basically, you're going to have your motion on your left stick, so forward thrust, backwards thrust. Turning is going to be based on your direction of your right joystick, so if you push push directly up, you're faced upwards on the screen. As you rotate around, your ship will turn around to point that same direction. You're firing, wait a second, what was it? Yeah, secondary and primary fire on your rear triggers, your thrust on your front. What do we got? Dodge straight S, right trigger, left trigger, and then our face buttons, so brakes on A. So if we're moving fast and all, you want to stop quickly, you want to press and hold A. I'm basing it on Xbox controls because most people will use Xbox controllers on their PC. I prefer PlayStation. Plus, it's a lot harder to put square, triangle, circle, cross on the symbols in the document. So easier to do it that way. B button or circle on PlayStation is going to be to drop bombs or special weapons. X is your reload or cooldown, or otherwise square on PlayStation. And Y or triangle is activate your warp drive and complete it. And obviously just your start button to pause the game. We may have, depending on if we allow collecting multiple special weapons, to do like a left and right on the D-pad to select between the different special weapons or your cargo. So that'll be like your bombs and things like that. And then obviously your keyboard, trying to keep it simple. So again, keeping your movement to your WASD. So W and S, forwards and backwards. Your A and D is going to do your dodge strafe. Your mouse, where you're pointing to, is generally the normal format when you're porting a controller-based game to mouse and keyboard controls. Left click, right click for your primary and secondary fire. Your shift to do your brakes. F key for your bombs, R for weapon cooldown, so kind of like your reload. Space is going to be you activate your warp drive and escape to pause. We go into details on the experience points and the leveling up system. Our development and deployment, we've done that tonight. We don't need to go into full details of that because we literally just done that. There's a blank page extra for some reason. Alright, that's fixed. Music and sound effects. So this we done last week. So sound design, as we know, sound in space. Space is a vacuum. Sound doesn't travel through a vacuum. So we don't want no sound, but we need to make it sound spacey. Music is going to be produced by my partner. We'll give her name and credit once she decides what she wants to go by and how she wants to be credited. And sound effects, we're going to be using stock and asset pack sound effects, but we'll be post-processing them most likely to suit our sound environment. Multiplayer and co-op. My mouth is starting to dry out. Give me a second. Sorry, excuse me. Multiplayer co-op. So the games are initially going to be designed as a single player, but we may add co-op later. That'll be after it's fully developed as like a version 1.2. Hey, we've added co-op. And then just listing where our documents are going to be within our appendices. And that's it. So, I know it's been a very boring last 5 streams, but we are finally done. So we're going to do a final save. Saving, come on. What to save there? Let's make sure our fields are updated actually, sorry, on our chapters. Yeah, all 25 pages, that's all good. So we'll just hit save again. Now, the last thing I want to do with that let's rename version 1.0. Now, last thing is we're going to no, we'll keep it there. We'll move it into the folder that's created by GameMaker tomorrow night. So we'll do that then. We're going to have a new game within there. So in the meantime, it's been a pleasure. As I said, tomorrow night we're going to start finally with actually making our game. So hope you join us. Same time tomorrow night, 8 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's Brisbane, GMT +10. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Have a great night.